Okay, hello. So, if you're back here, this is week 2 at the laboratory at the lab of Ultrafast Xray Sciences, U Ottawa. So, week 2 of my co-op and what I've done. If you want a little bit of an update, you'll get this in this video. But if you're new and then you don't even know what I'm doing week 2, go ahead and check out week 1. I think it was pretty funny, and then come back here for week 2. So, week 2 was just a build off of last week. The previous week, I built an Michelson interferometer from scratch, and we noticed the interference pattern and all that kind of stuff. But the Heaney laser that I was using is a continuous laser beam, so it's just very easy for me to find. Well, easy quotation marks. It was actually pretty tough, but very easy to find the interference pattern and get everything aligned. So as soon as I got that aligned, it's like in week 2 they said, okay, we're gonna go from the Heaney laser. You're gonna switch to the Astrella 800 nanometers laser, which is a femtosecond pulse, a femtosecond pulse. So it's 10 to the negative 15 seconds. That's how short of a laser pulse that is. And if you were to, if you're outside or you open your sink and you let the water flow, that's like a continuous laser beam. But what a femtosecond pulse is, that kind of laser, it's shooting bullets, boom, 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 super fast bullets, right? It's shooting bullets that are very short in time of laser pulses. And in order for me to see an interference, I must have these two pulses overlap over each other in space and time, which is, it sounds a little bit tricky, but here, if I have a laser pulse here, right, and I have another A laser pulse here, I am not going to get any interference. I need to be able to take this laser pulse, which is super short, a femtosecond pulse, and I need to overlap it with the other pulse for me to find some sort of interference. Okay, so that's the tricky part. So essentially, if you remember correctly, this is my this is my setup. We had the Heaney laser going to this telescope, which goes into this mirror, this mirror. If you want to understand the iris and the dog leg and all that kind of stuff, watch the previous video. And then we had the interference pattern. So now what I done is I need to put, because here it didn't really matter the distance between these two. I tried to make them as equal as possible and still saw interference. But with a short femtosecond pulse, these small distances are crucial. So I had this mirror that was fixed, but then I put this mirror on a moving stage. So you can see here, I have a moving stage where I can rotate this forward and back, and I can change how close that mirror is and how far away it can go. So there's that. So I put the mirror on a stage, and then all I had to do was make sure I keep on rotating the stage back and forth until I see the interference pattern. Now, mind you, this was a whole different ball game than the freaking Heaney laser I was using, right? I had to wear goggles over top of my glasses, which was annoying as hell. So that was over top, and it was getting so foggy I could barely see anything, but we still made it through. It's just to protect my eyes, because safety first and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to see my lab drip, this is me in my lab drip. You can see I got the fancy goggles, a hairnet, because I work in a clean room, so we can afford to have dust from the outside world get into the clean room. Um, yeah, you can see I'm kind of wearing booties here or something to protect my socks from like the fur material, and that's it. That's pretty much. And I wear lab coat and then gloves for handling optics. So this is the lab drip. Yeah. So I'm dripped up like this, and I'm working in the lab now. Mind you, even with the goggles on, I was only using 4% of the power of the Astrella laser. So that was such a dim line for me to see. Like, you can't even see without with your eyes. Like, even when I had the goggles, I could not even see the light. You can't see it. I had to take a viewing card and then have the beam hit that viewing card, and I saw a small green circle, and I had to switch off the lights in the lab completely for me to be able to see that circle a little bit brighter. So that was super, super challenging. But I still saw this interference pattern here. So this is my phone took a picture of this because I think the camera can see wavelengths that our eyes cannot. So something like that. So I was able to get this picture, and you're looking at $1 million. So the laser is actually $1 million itself. So you're looking at light worth of $1 million right now. So this is the interference pattern, and you can see it's much smaller. And I had to rotate the knob for me to get the mirrors close. And I swear to God, as soon as I got them here, I saw interference. I blew the. I honestly, I was like crazy over it. I was so excited. I was so happy because I made it work. Because I was just thinking about everything. I'm like, this is a short laser pulse, and this is another short laser pulse, and it's not even short. It's like femtoseconds, and I was able to get them on top of each other in space and time. That's freaking crazy. So I was just over the top. Even the T was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, dude, you were able to do it." So it was such an exciting, like the dopamine hit like crazy. So there was that, and what else? So I did that. Um, I'm trying to think. Am I missing anything? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's called time zero. So as you overlap the two ultra fast pulses, and then you have an interference pattern. That interference pattern, it's called time zero. So there's that as well. So I was able to do that, and then that's pretty much. I found time zero. I played with the Estrella laser, and then I read a lot about Gaussian optics because Gaussian optics is very important to the work that I will be doing, I think. And that's pretty much it. So I'm starting to get, by week two, I started to get a little bit of a gist of an understanding of what it is that I'm doing. And again, remember, I started this co-op in May 1st. So we're in June right now. So I'm a bit late with the videos, but I'm just talking about. I have an idea of what it is that I'm going to be doing, but essentially they're trying to get me up to speed with finding time zero and all the optical skills because I'd be working on something called the frog or something like frequency resolved optical grading. More on that later in future videos for sure. But this is what it is, and then they made me do a Michelson interferometer and finding time zero with the 800 nanometers astral laser. Um, that was to get me prepared to make my own autocorrelator. And again, I'll make a video on that, and it's pretty cool. So to make my own autocorrelator, which lays the foundation for me to get into frog frequency resolved optical grading. So I learned a lot, and this was very fun to do. Although it's oh my god, like it was such a hassle, but in the end, it was all worth it. So that's pretty much what I've been up to this week in week two, and that's pretty much it. So that's it. If you are having fun with the series, then if you leave a like, that mean a lot. Thank you.